I think Blake Lively, at this point, is sorry that she ever started the whole thing.
Yeah, she said it looked like Blake Lively was falling for Justin Baldoni. It would only make her suffer more, or her image.
Blake Lively is in full meltdown mode after psychiatrist Dr. Carol Lieberman dropped a bombshell. And honestly, no one saw this coming. On June 7th, during the pretrial discovery, Lieberman dissected Blake's behavior and unveiled a revelation that shook the courtroom to its core. Blake Lively's pretrial discovery has delivered yet another courtroom spectacle. And on June 7th, the bombshell of all bombshells detonated.
I think this psychiatrist who's interviewed here is really spot on.
In what can only be described as an Oscar-worthy twist, Dr. Carol Lieberman, celebrity psychiatrist and apparent master of deciphering emotional chaos, testified that Blake Lively might have developed romantic feelings for Justin Baldoni during the filming of It Ends With Us. Yes, you heard it right. A legal battle over harassment accusations has now morphed into a soap opera of blurred boundaries and suppressed emotions. The courtroom, filled with lawyers, reporters, and likely a few people just there for the drama, erupted in murmurs. This wasn't just another day of legal wrangling.
So this person is a psychiatrist and an author. Her name is Dr. Carol Lieberman. She works as an expert witness in court cases, meaning that when they need an expert in psychiatry, they would call her and she would analyze the situation. And she was interviewed by Sky News Australia to talk about how Blake Lively, when she dismissed her emotional distress claims against Justin Baldoni, and what her thoughts were around this.
And with all her expertise, Lieberman didn't hold back as she detailed the alleged sparks flying between Blake and Justin, painting a vivid picture of an actress so immersed in her role that fiction and reality became hopelessly entangled.
She said it looked like Blake Lively was falling for Justin Baldoni.
According to Lieberman, this wasn't just a case of workplace admiration gone awry.
And she was very uncomfortable with that possibility because, of course, she's married.
Blake, faced with these feelings, did what anyone in a high-profile Hollywood marriage might do: absolutely panic. She's married to Ryan Reynolds. After all, a man whose charm is practically a second currency in Tinseltown.
And that made her all very uncomfortable.
Feeling the weight of guilt, societal expectations, and perhaps even Ryan's ever-watchful eye, Blake supposedly chose to suppress her emotions. And how does one suppress feelings in Hollywood? Apparently by accusing your co-star of harassment. And so instead...
So at the end, she just decided to blame him for harassment rather than facing and acknowledging her own feelings.
Dr. Carol Lieberman didn't hold back during her testimony, delivering what could only be described as a courtroom bombshell. Her theory, Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, might not be as straightforward as it seems.
And now I'm kind of starting to believe that as well, because the way she has behaved around this, it doesn't really make any sense unless there were real feelings there.
Instead of a classic case of workplace misconduct, Lieberman suggested that Blake's allegations might actually be a psychological coping mechanism, an attempt to navigate her own conflicted emotions. That's right. This isn't just about legal battles. It's about emotional warfare.
And really what I think happened is that she got into her character, and I think she was starting to fall for him.
Lieberman dug deep, analyzing everything from Blake's body language to the infamous slow dance footage from It Ends With Us. According to her, the chemistry between Blake and Justin wasn't just method acting or professional camaraderie. It was a reflection of something much deeper.
And really what I think happened is that she got into her character tremendously, like good actors are supposed to do. And I think she was starting to fall for him.
Prolonged eye contact, subtle physical cues, and moments of on-screen vulnerability painted a picture of an actress wrestling with feelings she couldn't or wouldn't admit to herself.
Why would you want to punish someone so badly for just smelling your hair or for saying something that you felt was uncomfortable. Why would you go to this length to destroy someone's life?
But it gets messier. Lieberman didn't stop at the workplace dynamics. She openly questioned whether Blake's lawsuit was less about protecting herself from alleged inappropriate behavior and more about shielding her marriage from the uncomfortable truth.
Another thing that Dr. Lieberman pointed out here, which I also think at this point is about to happen, is if Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's relationship can survive this.
Could this entire legal circus be an elaborate attempt to convince not just the world but herself that her marriage to Ryan Reynolds was untouchable?
She's also saying that she thinks Blake Lively regretted that she ever started this as well. I think so too. If she knew consequences of this lawsuit.
Or was it simply a desperate cry for help from a woman overwhelmed by the pressures of fame, family, and forbidden feelings? The questions linger, and so does the drama. For those in the courtroom, this revelation was nothing short of cinematic. The idea that Blake's internal struggles could have fueled such dramatic legal accusations sent shockwaves through the room. Even the most seasoned observers seemed floored by the idea that this lawsuit might not just be about professional boundaries, but deeply personal turmoil.
And she didn't want the public, obviously, to see what her mental health records were.
Lieberman's analysis didn't stop at the courtroom door. It left everyone pondering Blake's motivations. Was this a calculated move to deflect attention from her own feelings, or an unintentional lashing out as she tried to navigate her guilt? Either way, the narrative had officially shifted.
She wasn't really thinking logically about all these kinds of details.
What makes this even more compelling is how it reshapes the central question of this case. Is Blake's lawsuit an act of justice, a subconscious cry for help, or a deflection from truths she's not ready to face? Whatever the answer, one thing is clear. This isn't just a legal battle, it's a psychological showdown. Justin Baldwin's reaction to the chaos swirling around him has been nothing short of a masterclass in resilience.
I was blocked by Ryan. Yeah. Predator Pool himself blocked me. I don't know when he blocked me. I don't know if it's when I exposed on X what happened with his daughter in Deadpool and that abhorrent things that they made her do. It's just disgusting.
Balan denied any wrongdoing, and he's not stopping there. The man has countersued Blake Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, for a jaw-dropping $400 million in a defamation case that's got everyone talking.
7 Wayfair parties are well below the ceiling of the small group exception, and Reynolds defamed all of them.
Baldwin's legal team wasted no time assembling a defense that's more thorough than a detective in a whodunit novel. They've reportedly presented a mountain of on-set footage, emails, and other evidence to refute Blake's claims. And let's just say they're not pulling any punches. Blake Lively has ruined Justin Baldoni's legacy. The defense paints a picture of professionalism and consistency on Baldwin's part, contrasting starkly with what they argue are Blake's inconsistent and baseless allegations. From meticulously timed emails to candid behind-the-scenes moments, Baldwin's legal arsenal is packed with receipts, and his team is making it clear. This isn't just a trial about what happened. It's a trial about the truth itself.
Blake Lively has ruined Justin Baldoni's legacy.
And then there's Baldwin's public statement. Talk about a mic drop moment. In a calm but firm plea, he called for truth and accountability, expressing frustration at the toll this ordeal has taken not just on him, but on his family and career. Enough is enough might as well be his mantra at this point as he seeks to reclaim his reputation in the court of public opinion. But while Baldwin battles it out in the courtroom, the drama has seeped into Blake Lively's personal life, particularly her marriage to Ryan Reynolds, and the strain is starting to show. Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's beloved Deadpool romantic lead, and, apparently, the CEO of Blake Lively's life. Forget supportive spouse because reports suggest Ryan's role in this scandalous saga is way more hands-on than anyone expected. Nope, he wasn't just sending cute texts or cheering from the sidelines. Rumor has it Ryan's been playing a very different game. Think less adoring husband and more stage manager for Blake's every move. And on the set of It Ends With Us, Ryan was a mandatory part. Eyewitnesses didn't hold back painting a picture of Ryan looking like he was ready to jump through the screen anytime Blake and Justin got too close. A lingering glance, a friendly chat, or a simple collaboration? Nope, not on Ryan's watch.